thought leadership? It's a content marketing tactic where professionals and organizations together build and achieve recognition as experts within their professional industries, and where they enhance their importance as leading voices within their field. So, what is this authority, or what is this recognition? What is this importance that thought leaders have? Is thought leadership something that is accessible to anybody? Can anybody be a thought leader? Or is it only reserved for those who already are the leading voices within their industry? So I think I take the sociological approach here. I identify four different types of authority and how that relates to idea of thought leadership in B2B marketing or in social media or in business in general. So the first type of authority, it's quite simple, it's quite obvious. That is the traditional authority. So traditional authority, it's basically something that has to do with history or something that has to do with numbers or just the official status. So anybody, any individual or any organization that has traditional authority, well, they are the oldest, they are the biggest, they are the best, they are the most recognized, they are the most awarded, they are the most certified, they are the biggest, they have the most followers, etc., etc. The biggest market share, they can show you achievements, they have 1 million customers or so on. And this type of authority means basically, if you have this level of authority or this type of authority, you kind of already know who you are. You are a thought leader. So this is the kind of authority. Let's say if you have 1 million followers on social media and you are a professional and you identified as a professional within your industry, whatever you say will be listened to. So this is basically the idea of whatever you say is not so important. What's important is who says it. And that's number one. That's level one. And that's very hard to attain. That's a thought leadership that is already established. Number two, the number two type of authority, that's also quite simple. It's legal authority. So you are the official representative of something. You are the legal entity for a certain thing, elected official. You are a government bureau of something, or you have a legal status in some way, or you give out industry standards, like you are the party that grants or recognizes standard bearers, for example. That's in business. So that's legal authority. So there are two types of authority that are a little bit more modern, a little bit more contemporary, and a little bit more softer. And those fall under the umbrella of, let's say, charismatic authority. This is more of that type of authority that can be built from bottom up. It's a little bit more of a grassroots thing. So we go to type of authority number 3. That is charismatic authority, where you, as an individual or as a brand or as an organization, are just generally likable. You are cute. You are cool. People like you. You might not be that big on business. You might not be that big on being the official representative of something, saying things the way they should be said. You probably don't want to show your professional identity within your network. So you're generally just a likable person. And you might actually have a type of charismatic authority that is typical to charismatic leaders. So what's a common trait of charismatic leader is that if a charismatic leader is talking to a crowd of people, every member of that crowd feels like this person, this leader is talking directly to me. Kind of these kinds of leaders who speak to the heart of everybody. These might be artists, these might be um, celebrities, or they just might be using something that is just thought of as cool, some trait, some technique. They hold a symbol that is symbol of youthfulness, symbol of dynamic personality, likability, and just like things that are personal or just things that are cute. Brands do this quite often. You can build a cute brand that has that makes everybody like them, using fluffy characters or stuff like that, or just being ethical. That's also one other thing, but ethics kind of falls under a different type of authority, but it can be a factor in this. So the fourth type of authority, and this is probably most familiar you are with thought leaders, is this type of authority where you are an authority not because of your status, not because you are the best or you are the most recognized, you're the most knowledgeable, but because you share ideas openly. You help people, you share open knowledge, you share open insights, and you might not have the most knowledge, but you do share a unique perspective to things. And this might be because you are an interesting individual, you have an interesting history. So that does not make you into an authority, but it gives you a unique perspective. And that is a trait of authority. If you are able to gather a following, or if you're just able to be likable because you share information openly, or that people just find the ideas that you share very useful. They find them very helpful. So they want to follow you, they want to hear the next thing, and so on and so on. So it does not actually help if you just say that you are the best or you're the most knowledgeable. That's a usual confusion. You share insights because you are the best, because you have the most knowledge of this or that. That actually falls under traditional authority. People might actually shy away from that a little bit. If you just say you are the certified, you are the best, you are the most awarded, you're a world record holder in this or that, or you have or you just keep repeating that you have 1 million followers, and you think that is unique insight, that's actually more kind of that traditional authority. So if you're a brand or an organization, it's much easier to build this type of thought leadership by being likable, building a cute brand, building a brand that is likable, that is easy to engage with, or you just identify your sources of traditional or legal authority, because many organizations, they actually possess these levels of traditional authority, but they just don't probably recognize them that well. So that's easiest for a brand or an organization. But when you are an individual and you don't have 1 million followers and you are not the industry leader or you're not a world record holder, the most easiest way to build thought leadership is to share the unique insights, share unique perspective, be helpful. It doesn't matter even if you have 10 followers. If those 10 followers find the insights or the ideas that you share helpful, that's enough. You will start building that thought leadership quite automatically in that sense. Unique insights, unique perspective, open knowledge, open information, without gatekeeping content behind closed doors, behind lead forms, or behind these big walls of corporate identity, but you share ideas more openly. And organizations and brands can do this, but it's much easier to do that as an individual.